this unit 1. The first one is the punctuation and the second one is compound nouns. Because we have already learned punctuations in year 4, in year 5. Jadi kita cuma ulang kaji balik punctuation. We place full stop at the end of a sentence untuk hentikan ayat tu. Okay. Jadi ayat ni contoh macam kita bercakap, saya pergi ke kedai, dia akan berterusan gitu kalau kita tak letak full stop. Alright. The second one, a comma is used to separate phrases or items in a list. Dia untuk asingkan idea-idea ataupun barang-barang. Okay. Contohnya, I take an apple, comma, an orange, comma, a fish, and a cat to school. Jadi kita asingkan menggunakan comma. The third one is question mark. A question mark is placed at the end of a sentence when asking question. Untuk bertanyakan soalan. The next one, an exclamation mark. Exclamation mark is placed at the end of a sentence to show strong emotion. It's used to stress something, untuk tegaskan sesuatu. For example, okay, let's say someone want to cross the road, a busy road, but he's like playing with his handphone and he didn't look in front of him. Dia main je handphone tu, lepas tu kita nak suruh dia berhenti. Okay, kita tak jadi kalau macam stop. Okay, dia tak sampai maksud. So, we want to stress the thing that we want to tell him. So, we say something like stop! We put exclamation mark. Kita letakkan tanda seruan di situ. Okay, jadi kalau perasan kalau saya baca tadi ada full stop bunyi macam mana, comma ada bunyi dia, question mark ada bunyi dia, exclamation mark ada bunyi dia. So, it brings different intonations. Cara kita baca pun berbeza. The next one, a capital letter. Macam boleh nampak tadi, Ahmad. You see, capital letter maksudnya huruf besar. Jadi, a capital letter is used to begin a sentence. Untuk mulakan ayat, kita guna huruf besar. In proper nouns, what is proper nouns? Kata nama khas. Okay, nama bangunan, nama orang. And the last one is quotation mark. Okay. Quotation mark adalah tanda baca yang ada pengikat kata. Ada depan tu, ada belakang tu. Usually we use quotation mark for dialogues. Alright. We're going to see some of the examples here. The first one. I want to go to KTCC, said Romeo. Okay, if you can see here. Mana highlighter? No, laser point. Okay. Okay. This is a quotation mark. Dia ada satu kat depan ni, at the beginning of the sentence here. And sini satu. Dia tutup dialog. Apa yang kita nak cakap tu? I want to go to KTCC. Okay. Ni macam dia bagi tahu je dengan relaxnya, tak ada macam marah orang apa semua. So, I want to go to KTCC, said Romeo. So, in order to use the quotation mark correctly, okay, you need to put a comma kat sini, barulah kita tutup pengikat kata ni, baru kita letak said Romeo. And if you notice here, S ni huruf kecil, small letter. Next one. The first quotation mark here, and then ada ayat dia, please wash your car, it's dirty. Kenapa ada tanda seruan kat ujung? Lepas tu dia ada penutup pengikat kata ni. Sebabnya yell Abu, maksudnya Abu menjerit. Jadi Abu kalau orang menjerit tak ada, dia tak ada bunyi macam wash your car, it's dirty. Okay, dia tak ada bunyi macam tu, dia bunyi tinggi tu. So orang yang lain tu macam terasa macam oh kena buat segera benda tu. So bila kita gunakan pengikat kata ni, kalau perasan dalam ni ada exclamation mark. Exclamation mark ni biasanya kalau perkataan selepas exclamation mark dia adalah huruf kecil, huruf besar. Dia macam titik fungsi dia. Lepas dia huruf besar. Tapi in this case ada quotation mark di sini. Perkataan selepas dia akan jadi huruf kecil. Yelled Abu, jerit Abu. The next one. Karim whispered. Karim whispered, maksud whisper tu berbisik. Okay, kadang-kadang ada juga dia tak start dialog kat depan, dia start dialog tu dekat belakang. Okay, dia letak dialog dekat belakang, jadi kita tulis dulu Karim whispered, maksudnya Karim berbisik. Koma. Ni dialog Karim. Mula lepas kita tu letak koma di sini, baru kita letak ke atas ni the first quotation mark. Lepas tu Yusuf Tayyub. Habis dah tak ada kata apa-apa lepas tu, we put a full stop here and then we put the quotation mark over here. Okay, jadi ni cara-cara dia if you want to use the quotation mark. This is how you use quotation mark. Okay, we move on to the next one. Punctuation. Tanda baca. Is it really important? Adakah ia sangat penting? Really important? Jadi kita tengok yang pertama. Let's eat grandpa. Maksudnya, jom kita makan atuk kita. Okay. Kenapa dia jadi macam tu? Let's eat grandpa. Because kita tak ada pun letak tanda baca dia, terletak tanda baca kat ujung je, titik. Jom kita makan atuk. Okay. How is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be with a comma over here. So dia akan jadi, kalau kita letak comma elok-elok, the punctuation correctly, dia akan jadi ayat dia. Let's eat grandpa. Jom kita pergi makan grandpa. Barulah dia ajak grandpa makan, bukan dia makan grandpa. Okay, the second one. I like cooking my family and pets. Maksud I like cooking my family and my pets, maksudnya saya suka memasak keluarga saya dan binatang peliharaan saya. Okay, kat sini pun kalau perasan kat bawah dia tulis use commas. Don't be a psycho. Gunakan koma. Jangan jadi orang yang psycho, macam apa-apakan orang. Jadi, kalau sekarang ni, I like cooking my family and my pets. Macam mana cara yang betul untuk kita baca? Supaya kita dok masuk family kita ataupun kita masuk binatang peliharaan kita. Okay? The correct way, where is it? The correct way is to put a comma over here. Okay? Maksudnya, I like cooking, comma, saya suka memasak, my family and my pets, meaning to say, saya suka memasak, dia nak khabar, dia suka hobi memasak. I like my family, dia suka family dia juga, and I like my pets. Okay? Okay, we move on to the next one. Okay, some important notes on punctuations. Okay, ada beberapa benda penting untuk kita tengok pasal tanda baca punctuations. The first one, okay, compare these two. Bandingkan antara dua ni. This is my pet. This is my parents, Encik Ali and Puan Nurhaliza. Yang ayat kat atas ni sekali lagi saya baca. This is my parents, Encik Ali and Puan Nurhaliza. Yang kat bawah dia, this is my parents, Encik Ali and Puan Nurhaliza. Okay, kalau perasan kat sini ada dua ayat, but did you notice a small commas over here? Ada koma yang tengah-tengah ni. Okay, jadi the first sentence, this is my parents, Encik Ali and Puan Nurhaliza. Yang ni maksudnya dia perkenalkan berapa orang di sini. Dan ayat kedua, this is my parents, Encik Ali and Puan Nurhaliza. Yang ni dia bagi tahu ada berapa orang di sini. Okay, rasanya awak boleh teka dah. Okay, this is my parents, Encik Ali and Puan Nurhaliza, meaning to say, ini adalah ibu bapa saya, iaitu Encik Ali dan Puan Nurhaliza. Okay, jadi maksudnya dia memperkenalkan dua orang. Parents dia siapa? Parents dia adalah Encik Ali ni dan Puan Nurhaliza ni. Kita tengok pula the second one. This is my parents, Encik Ali and Puan Nurhaliza. Maksud kat sini, this is my parents, ini adalah ibu bapa saya. Lepas tu, Encik Ali, ini adalah Encik Ali pula. Maksudnya orang lain. Parents dia dua orang tu. Encik Ali tambah lagi seorang. Lepas tu, Puan Nurhaliza tambah lagi dua orang. So, it's supposed to be introducing, memperkenalkan 4 orang di sini. Jadi, bila kita gunakan comma at the right place, okay, kita akan boleh macam membezakan jumlah orang. Jadi, tu pentingnya comma di situ. Oh, I'm sorry, here I only write 3, right? It's supposed to be 4. Sebab my parents, sebab ada S, maksudnya 2 orang. Jadi Encik Ali lagi seorang, Puan Nurhaliza lagi seorang. Okay? The next one. Help, help, my house is on fire. Maksudnya, tolong, tolong, rumah saya terbakar. Jadi biasanya kalau kita nak bagi tahu rumah terbakar, kita tak kata dengan macam tenang. Tengok je orang keliling mari tu, tolong, tolong, rumah saya terbakar. Jadi orang pun tengok slack, tengok semacam je kita. Okay, ya ke betul ke dia ni? Jadi bila kita sebut sesuatu yang tanpa menggunakan punctuation yang betul, tanda baca yang betul, dia akan menyebabkan kita sampaikan maksud yang salah pada orang. Jadi, the correct way to say this sentence is like this. Okay, kita gantikan the full stop with exclamation marks. Tengok ada 3 sini saya letak. So, it will come something like, help, help, my house is on fire. Nampak tak? Naik. Alright. Jadi, the second one. Okay. Yang ni tadi semua sekali saya letakkan exclamation mark, tanda seruan. Maksudnya semua pun macam penting sangat-sangat. Okay, the next one. Wow, this is awesome. Okay, kalau kita just put full stop over here and we read the sentence, wow, this is awesome. It's like kita nganjing kat orang. Macam we are mocking them. Kita macam pelekehkan. Wow, this is awesome. Yelah tu, hebatnya. Okay. The correct way to say this is like this. Okay, kita gantikan the full stop here with the exclamation mark. So, it will become something like, wow, this is awesome. Okay. Kenapa kita tak letakkan exclamation mark at the end of the sentence? Sebab kita letak di hadapan saja because the big idea here is to draw attention, untuk tarik perhatian orang terhadap apa, to what we are going to say. Tarik perhatian orang untuk apa yang kita akan katakan sekejap lagi. Okay, mula sekali, wow, semua orang pun tengok, kau ni apa hal? Lepas tu kita pun bagi tahu maklumat. Okay, the information is, this is awesome. Okay, here comes the next part, the compound noun. Okay, what is noun? Apakah noun? Ni makhluk noun ni. Okay, if you could still remember, noun maksudnya sangat mudah, benda. Anything around you, benda-benda. Contoh, for example, a fan, a lamp, a boy, a tree, a cat, a car, a gorilla, a lion. Okay, semua benda, anything that you can see around you. Compound noun ada noun, 2 nouns, which is being combined, yang digabungkan untuk membentuk the new noun. So kalau boleh baca kat atas ni, a compound noun is a single noun made up of 2 or more words. Okay, jadi macam saya explain tadi juga, compound noun ni adalah gabungan 2 perkataan yang akan membentuk perkataan baru. Maksud pun kadang-kadang lain terus. Jadi saya nak awak tengok semua, made up of 2 or more words. 2 or more words. Okay, dalam buku teks awak, in your textbook, it is only shown there like 2 words, a combination of 2 words. Compound noun ni dalam buku teks awak, dia gabung 2 perkataan sahaja. We're going to look at some examples here. The first one is sea. Okay, sea is laut. Food. Food is makanan. Okay, when we combine sea and food, seafood. Compound noun ni kita boleh tulis dalam 3 bentuk. Okay, jadi saya bagi tahu terus. Kalau terjumpa next time pun, oh you know, this is compound noun. But what you're going to learn tonight, you're going to learn compound noun without spaces. Yang tanpa, dia ada 3. Yang pertama, with spaces, dia ada macam space bar kat tengah, dia dijarakkan. Without spaces, yang dia rapat macam kat atas tadi, seafood, dia rapat kan. Okay. Another one with hyphens. With hyphens maksudnya dengan sengkang, dengan dash. Okay, we look the first one. At the first one with spaces yang dijarakkan, ice cream. Ejaan ice cream, ice, put a space there and then cream. Awak dah dapatkan dia jauh. The next one is swimming pool. Swimming pool is a compound noun. Alright. The next one, bus stop. Okay, bus stop is spelled with a space here. Dijarakkan bus dengan stop. The next one, living room. Living room. Without spaces. Without spaces maksudnya tanpa jarak, maksudnya dirapatkan. Without spaces ni lah yang awak belajar dalam buku teks awak. So, the first one given here is classmate. What is the meaning of classmate? Rakan-rakan kelas. The second one, greenhouse. Greenhouse. Maksudnya rumah untuk kita tanam pokok tu. Greenhouse. Grasshopper, belalang. Lifespan. Lifespan ni maksudnya jangka hidup kita. Okay, yang ni yang extra sikit. But no problem, no worries, jangan bimbang. Kita just macam tengok je untuk ambil tahu je. Tapi kita tak akan belajar yang part ni. Okay, yang akan kita belajar yang tengah-tengah ni je, kali hijau ni. Okay, with hyphens maksudnya dengan ada dash sengkang kat situ. Mother-in-law, meaning to say emak mertua. Try cleaning. Self-confidence, merry-go-round. Okay, fun fact awak tengok kan kuda pusing tu, yang budak-budak duduk, lepas tu dia musing slow-slow tu. Tengok dekat bawah ni jap. Place the stress on the first noun. Seafood. Seafood. Okay, kita bagi macam nebang sikit. Seafood. Kita tekankan yang pertama. Another example here. Ice cream. Can I buy some ice cream? A swimming pool. Swimming pool. Classmate. He is my classmate. Dia akan bunyi macam this is my classmate. Dia bunyi pelik di situ. Ataupun awak mungkin tengok bola kat TV. Oh, I want to watch some football. I want to watch some football. Okay, it sounds weird. Kenapa bunyi pelik? Sebab awak sudah biasa sebut dia. Yang kat depan awak stress. The first one, classroom. Tengok, I stress the first noun there. The second one, toothbrush. Daripada gabungan tooth, gigi dengan brush. Berus. Jadi berus gigi, toothbrush. The third one, sunflower. Bunga matahari. The next one, raincoat. Rak buku. Kita tahu buku, book, rak, shelf. Okay, become bookshelf. The next one, seat belt. The red box here, yes, it's mailbox. Okay, number 8. Oh, ni semua tahulah confirm. Cupcake. Done. Okay, down here. Okay, we got a few boxes with incomplete words for compound noun. Okay, the first one, ice. Agak-agaknya apa dia? Okay, ada yang sebut ice cream. But remember, if you put ice cream there, okay, you need to put a space there. Ice, jarakkan, cream. Okay, tu cara betul kita tulis ice cream. Sebab kadang-kadang ada yang salah kan, dia tulis rapat je, ikut suka hati dia je. Alright. Tapi katakanlah kita nak bagi rapat juga. Apa dia perkataan yang rapat? Without space, tanpa jarak. Iceberg. Okay, bongkah ais besar dalam lautan tu. The next one, the blue one here. Paste. Paste. Yang atas ni ada toothbrush. Bawah ni ubat gigi pula. Become toothpaste. Okay, the next one, drum. Drumstick. Over here, what about lip? Yes. Yang ada orang perempuan pakai tu, lipstick. Next one, sauce. Okay, bukan sauce tomato, bukan sauce chili, no. Saucepan. Saucepan. P-A-N. Saucepan. Apa benda tu? Cari sendiri. Okay, the next one, arm. Okay, lengan. Arm. Dia ada dua. Yang biasanya kita gunakan armchair. Awak pernah tengok kursi yang ada tempat kita sandurkan tangan dua tu? That's what we call armchair. Tapi yang paling popular sekali yang ada pada awak, armpit, ketiak. Armpit. Okay, ball. Okay, kalau ball kat sini, usually we say something like basketball or perhaps netball. Yes, football. Okay, dragon. Dragon ball sekali lagi. No, it's not Dragon Ball. Here, dragon, fly. Naga dengan fly, lalat. Campur dua, become pepatung. Okay, next one, bow. Bow. Bow ni macam bow yang kita pakai ada, kalau biasa cikgu pakai tie kat sekolah kan. Ni ada bow ni yang ada bentuk gitu tu. Okay. Bow. Tapi kita gabung lagi satu perkataan, become compound nouns. Biasa akan jadi. Contohnya, rainbow. Very good. Rainbow. Pelangi. Or perhaps kalau kita main game yang ada macam tembok-tembok orang apa semua tu, crossbow. Okay, busur yang tong gitu. Alright. Next one, tie. Alah, bagus tu sebut tadi. Necktie. Very good. Key. Keychain. Keychain. Maksudnya, yang gantung kat bag tu. The last one, moon. Moonlight. Sinaran bulan. Moonlight. This is another exercise on your page 9. But no worries, we're going to discuss it here. Macam saya kata tadi, tak payah ambil pun buku teks. Just look at the screen here. Okay, match words in column A to column B to make compound nouns. Okay. Before that, tengok kat atas dulu. Najmi plays football every evening at the school field. Najmi bermain bola sepak setiap petang at the school field. Bayangkan, kalau kita tiba-tiba kata, tambah guna ball kat sini, nak guna foot je. Apa akan jadi? Najmi plays foot every evening at the school field. Maksudnya dia pergi cari kaki orang yang putus, lepas tu dia main sepak-sepak dekat padang. Okay? Jadi sebab itulah kita gunakan compound nouns yang betul so that maksud tu adalah betul. The second one, Kamini's room is decorated. Maksud decorated, dihias with colourful wallpaper. Dihias dengan wallpaper kertas dinding, tampal kat dinding tu yang berwarna-warni. Okay. There were a lot of cars on highway yesterday. Highway maksudnya lebuh raya. Okay. The first one, cow. Okay, ada dah jawapan sini. Okay, cow, boy. Kelas yang awak belajar tadi? Yes, very good. Mate, classmate. Drown. Drown dengan apa benda? Groundnuts. Benda apa maksud groundnuts? Groundnuts tu adalah kacang tanah. Shop. Shop keeper. Door bell. Door bell. Maksudnya loceng. Loceng pada pintu pada rumah tu. Cup cake. Cake tadi. Air. Mana tadi? Airport. Airport maksudnya lapangan terbang. Okay, number 1. Ni jawab dulu sebelum saya jawab, okay? Okay, jawab dalam hati je. KLIA is a very modern. Jawab dalam hati. Very good. KLIA is a very modern airport. Okay, we move on to the second one. There is only one left on the plate. Hanya satu je tinggal atas pinggan tu. Very good. Cupcake. Okay. Number 3. The egg is very polite to his customers. Siapa is very polite? Sangat bersopan santun to his customers, kepada pelanggan-pelanggannya. Very good. Yang baru kita sebut tadi, shopkeeper, tuan kedai tu. The next one, she was in the kitchen when the egg rang. Dia berada di dapur semasa apa benda rang, berdering. Yang kita sebut tadi, ring ring ring, doorbell, loceng. Number 5, Najmi is Asin's egg. They are in 6 robotics. Najmi ni adalah Asin punya apa? Mereka berada dalam 6 robotik. Very good. Najmi is Asin's classmate. And the last one, I know everyone can already guess the answer. Leanne's father loves to eat egg while watching television. Leanne's father, ayah Leanne sangat suka makan semasa menonton television. Yes, groundnuts. Meaning to say, dia suka makan kacang semasa menonton television. Okay. The homework. Sekejap je benda ni. The homework. Tengok elok-elok. The first one. Okay, this is about the punctuation that we have learned just now. And I want you to do this one. Number 1 to 6. Number 1, Tan and his wife, Jenny, live in a village by the seaside. Ada comma kat situ. Number 2, he was a fisherman and loved his job very much. Senang je tu. Number 3, one day, he caught some fish prawns and a huge octopus. Kacang je. Number 4, the octopus opened its mouth and started to talk. Pun senang je. Number 5, can you throw me back into the sea, please? Asked the octopus. Okay, yang ni ada kena tambah something sikit. You know, these things. Alright. Number 6, the last one. He agreed when the octopus granted his wish. Okay, down here, I'm going to read to you once. Okay, saya akan bacakan pada awak so that awak tahu, oh, sini kena letak, sini tak payah letak, sini kena letak titik, alright? Once, if you need to hear again, okay, you just can replay the video later. Tan saw lots of food on the table. Jenny was wearing a new red dress. Are you satisfied now? He asked. No, said Jenny. She told her husband to go back to the sea and ask the octopus for more things. The octopus gave everything she wanted. One day, she wanted to be the queen of the country. No, she can't have everything she wants. Throw me back into the sea and go home, said the octopus. Later, when Tan reached home, Jenny was in her old clothes and all her new things had gone. She was furious and told him to go back to the sea. Unfortunately, Tan was not able to find the huge octopus again. Full stop. Alright, kacang je kan? The next one. Okay, this is a compound noun. If you could still remember, I have already given you all the answers for like 1 to 3, like 12 questions here. Jadi aku buat yang ni nombor 2 on page 8 here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Yang ni buat dalam buku tulis awak juga. The next one. The next one is something similar to page 9 yang awak tengok tadi. But you need to match words in column A to column B to make compound nouns. Awak kena matchkan dia, sesuaikan dulu. And then, fill in the blanks with compound nouns from the table. Okay, dapatkan compound noun yang awak dah buat kat sini tadi. Masukkan ke sebelah sini. Alright. Jadi, you need to understand the text first. Fahamkan maksud dia dulu. Lepas tu barulah letak sini. Okay, so I guess that's it. That's the end of the lesson tonight.